flexibility with that. Mr. Johns, speak fast.
We're all dealing with the housing crisis, and we know that we're talking about it day in, day out. People are struggling, paying, astronomical rents. The developer-driven model hasn't worked. As Ms. Atwin got the butt end of me yesterday, I identified that the private sector has not solved the affordable housing crisis anywhere in the world, an affordable housing crisis. I understand the need for partnership, and I know that all parties around this table have talked about partnership to create affordable housing with government buildings, government lands, and I'd like to hear the spirit of that, because there is underutilized lands and buildings. It needs to be done with free, prior, and informed consent, and it must be done, in terms of, of inclusion with Indigenous peoples, those decisions. But we need to make sure we can't have a repeat of the Greenbelt, where public lands end up in developers' hands, and public lands actually belong in public hands. So we want to make sure that happens. We had that happen in BC, in Crown lands that ended up in the private sector. So I want us to study it, and I'm going to move a motion that, pursuant to Standing Order 102, subsection 2, that the committee undertake a study. 1082, thank you. The committee undertake a study to identify opportunities within the Government of Canada's real property portfolio to build non-market housing, that the committee invite witnesses from the Treasury Board, Canada Mortgage and Housing Corporation, as well as the President of the Treasury Board and the Minister for Housing, Infrastructure and Communities, and that the study should be at least 4 meetings, and that the committee report its findings to the House.
Mr. Genos.
Thank you, Chair. I thank Mr. Johns for putting forward a motion on an important issue. It is very much his right during committee business to propose any motion that he wants. But I would just respectfully ask if we can have a little bit more time on this one, because the notice did just come out this morning, and we'd like the opportunity to review the motion a little bit more and be able to come back to the committee with our proposed approach on it.
Mayor Chuck.
Yeah, I think Mr. Johns hit a home run with this proposal. We're ready to support this today. I would simply ask if Mr. Johns would be amenable to including on the list of witnesses the CEO of the Canada Lands Company, which is the CEO, the new CEO of the Canada Lands Company, which basically works with partners to develop the federal land holdings, and also to include Canada Post. There have been some really innovative solutions. I look at Aurelia, for example, where a Canada Post was maintained on the ground floor, and affordable housing was built on top of the existing Canada Post building, to ask them to come in as well too. But again, I would ask that we consider when we're looking at federal lands and real holdings, that we include the Canada Lands Company, which is, I think, important, and also Canada Post as well too.